here at Memorial Park. We're going to be hiking the Green Ridge Trail. First hike here, so I'm pretty excited. Have high hopes for it. It's a moderate to difficult trail, so we'll see how long it takes. So we're out here on the Green Ridge Trail, making some nice progress. We're not too far from the beginning, but far enough from the freeway that it doesn't sound like cars are rushing past. And I think we're at a good spot. So my first hike that I ever went on, at least the one I count as my first hike, was about a year and a half ago, probably a little bit more, in 2024. I just come home from college, did not have a great semester, and I was broke, didn't have any furniture when I got home, and I couldn't find a job for a couple months, so it's pretty depressing. But one of the things that I kept thinking about was when I was up in college, I would just walk around, and that was kind of something that brought me a little bit of peace. And so I figured, why not try it again? So I did. After about, I don't know, like 6 hours doom scrolling on Indeed, looking for jobs, I just decided to get in my car and drive down to Brazos Bend State Park and go for a hike. So I drove down 288, turned off onto FM 1462, and as I'm getting closer, you know, I can get that feeling that like I'm coming back home. Because I grew up in Brazoria County, and the area just looked familiar to me, even though I hadn't been there in like 10 years. But I found myself turning on to the Park Road. I think it's Park Road 72, and I just got this feeling of nostalgia and relief at the same time. So I spent about 10 minutes looking for a parking spot, a good place to start the trail, start hiking. So I found this little spot off the southeast end of the park and got out, took one look at the map, and I decided that I was not going to take the usual trail that most people do. I'd done a little bit of research before I went on the trip, and I saw that a lot of people liked hiking the White Oak Trail. It was very popular. And I decided to go on this loop called the Red Buckeye Loop, just off the trail, kind of like on the right side, about a quarter mile in. And the reason I liked it, the reason I ended up enjoying it so much, was because I grew up in Freeport, and right through the center of our town, we had the Brazos River that would cut through. And I don't know, something about that just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just the sentimentality of having like the same river that I had grown up around in my hometown be right alongside that trail. So the Red Buckeye Loop kind of obviously went in a circle, but when you would start the trail, it would go south, and then it would go east, and then you'd go back up north and loop back up and connect to the White Oak Trail. But as you go south, you would hit the Big Creek. Not really that big, honestly, like a stream of water. Some parts of it were dried up. But then eventually, once you keep going east, you'd hit the banks of the Brazos River. And I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't what I expected at all. Hollywood gives this depiction of rivers, right? Like they're deep, vibrant blue, rushing water, goes right up to the banks. Not the Brazos. When I went up to the banks, which you really couldn't get up to the banks because the trail didn't even get up to them, I was maybe like 200 meters from the banks, and everything was just a cliff from where I was at down about maybe 10 feet, and then you would get to the banks. But these banks, they were deep red, like almost a brown, and obviously it's clay, but it would be like maybe 20-30 feet of just nothing but clay until you actually hit the water. And then the river itself, it was kind of wide, but wasn't very fast moving, and so it's kind of like a lazy river. And it kind of reminded me of the San Marcos River. A lot of people go up there to go tubing, and like I said about bikers, but yeah, a lot of people go up there to go tubing, and it kind of reminded me of that. But you definitely wouldn't want to go tubing in the Brazos River. Who knows what's down there? Alligators, snakes. But it was that uniqueness that I saw that kind of reminded me about why I love nature so much. Is that it doesn't fit a playbook. It doesn't have expectations, or it doesn't fit expectations, right? It's unforgiving beauty. Like right now, I'm carrying this little stabilizer, but I'm still paying attention because this trail isn't exactly flat. So wrong step and there goes your ankle. But yeah, that's what I love about nature. It's every time you go through a trail, even if it's the same trail a dozen times, you will notice something different about it, because you can't see everything. You could be looking one direction, come back around, you're looking another. That's what I love about nature. But yeah, I'm gonna sign off for a second. I'm gonna just enjoy the trail.
Careful. 2 of these.
All right, so I wanted to get this section because there's I love nature in general, but I love pine trees and I love pine forest. So I ran into a couple, so I just wanted to capture it and show you guys, because if it brings me joy, I want to share it with others, because I'm sure it'll bring others joy as well. So yeah, found this concrete structure. Definitely looks dilapidated. I'm thinking it might be part of Camp Logan. It's a military training ground here in Memorial Park during World War I. So I wonder if this is part of it. It's definitely a lot of graffiti, so I wonder, we gotta be careful. There might be homeless people over here. But I figured to deal with homeless people, you just gotta treat everybody with respect and you'll be okay. Huh. I wonder what this was used for. Anyway, let's continue. Some stuff down here. I definitely think this used to be part of the fort or something, because you can see it's a triangular shape. So I'm wondering if it was part of the fortress, if they had even a fort over here. All I know is that this thing looks like it's pretty abandoned. We're not going to get too lost because right now we're off the trail, but I just want to get a look around for what this is. I'm going to walk back through it just to get another angle of it. Can you imagine getting stuck down there? It would really suck. It's kind of crazy to think that here we are hiking the same park, and who knows, maybe even the same trails that our troops did in World War I as they were training here to be shipped overseas. Now, Camp Logan didn't really last that long because, you know, the war was only a couple years, but it stayed on a little bit after that. But after the war and the armistice, the military didn't really see the benefit of having hundreds of training camps across the country. It's nice to take a walk through history. Alright, so it's pretty dark out. Definitely well past 5:48 mark. But not to worry, we're about, or I'm about, I don't know, we are about 10 minutes, I'm guessing 10-15 minutes from getting back to the parking lot. So, even though it looks pretty dark, it's not that crazy dark, but it's in these areas where there's a lot of trees that you can really get the darkness. But that's why I got this little light on my shoulder. It's called Angel or Guardian Angel Micro. I got it for my security work, and it works just fine out here in the trails. I mean, it doesn't light up everything, but just enough for you to be able to walk. Gonna meet my dad for some tacos after, and then meet with my best friend after. Hang out with them a little bit. So I'll check in with you guys again when I get to the end of the trail. But I think it's actually pretty nice. I mean, I can't really see that much, but I can always bring out my other flashlight. But I think I'm okay. I don't know, part of me just likes the stillness. So I just finished the Green Ridge Trail, and I think it was a really good hike. Definitely finished a little later than I thought we would. But I liked it, and I hope y'all did too. And if you enjoyed it, then come back and watch another one.